079.
Wait, don't call it out because unless everyone have their phone number. Do you want to pass it to me? One that ends in 420. Thank you. Hello. Let's go off. Yeah.
Because you said you were ready to go on.
That was my client as well. Oh. Yeah.
Then are you ready to go on this? Just put them on.
Okay.
Yeah? So when you put those stuff in, everything goes live.
Good evening, and welcome. It is Desrine, and welcome to Talks with Desrine. Hope everyone's had a fabulous week. My week has been extremely long and challenging, but if you was listening to our show last week, we love challenges and obstacles because they only make us a better person. For anyone that's new to listening, welcome. I am Desrine, the female empowerment coach. I specialize in confidence building and self-esteem. And don't I have an amazing show for you today? And today is all about my ladies, and I have some beautiful sisters in the studio with me. I can't wait to introduce you to all of them. But first, let's just sort out the nitty-gritty. Get a pen and paper. Do call in. Take down the number. It's 07-876 044510. Again, 07-8760-44510. I encourage you all to please call in, send us a message via WhatsApp or a text. Thank you to everyone who has tweeted and emailed me at talkswithdesrine@gmail.com. We'll be answering questions later on in the show. You can follow me on my Instagram at Desrine TFEC. Follow me on Instagram, the Female Empowerment Coach, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Talks with Desrine. So, I have the beautiful Cherelle in the building. Hi. Hello, sister. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
My name's Cherelle, and I'm one of the members of Nubian Nights Out. Pleasure to be here today. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I know this lady personally. The story is quite magical one, actually. She reached out to me on Instagram and said, look, I'm doing this amazing expedition and I would love for you to be in it. You know, will you model nude? And I was like, where do I sign up? So I just want to give you a bit of a background about NNO. I know that you obviously fill us in with our other sister when she arrives. Yeah. But Nubian Nights Out began in December 2014 by a collection of young, beautiful, amazing women based in London. And from my understanding, you came from all different types of backgrounds: photography, media,
fashion, makeup, PR, fitness, you name it. We've got it in the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many of you are there?
There's 5 of us at the moment.
Okay. Would you like to tell us the names?
Yeah. So it's myself, Cherelle. We've got Tenisia.
She's on her way.
She's on her way. Kim's going to be calling in, I think.
Yes, we're going to give the lovely Kim a call. Yeah. She's a photographer.
She's a photographer.
Yes.
We've got Fontaine and we've got Georgia as well.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us, what's your role in it?
I started the WhatsApp group, Nubian Nights Out.
It always starts off with a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we started off, I put together a WhatsApp group with women who were, you know, who were kind of the same mindset as myself. It was a time where I was getting more into learning more about Black history. Okay. More about identity. And I knew these ladies were about the same. So I put them all in a WhatsApp group. This was about October 2014. Okay, and how did you go about finding like-minded women? These are women that I'd met. I met Kim on a shoot about 3 days ago. Me and Georgia went to the same pole dancing class. Okay, now. Yeah. So we all came from different walks and came together. But at the time, we were having the same conversations. Okay. So that's how I kind of knew, you know, these ladies were, you know, on the same kind of path that I was on. Okay, so you started up this WhatsApp group, and then what was the next step? Talk us through so we would chat about different issues, like Black issues, up until 12 o'clock at night, like WhatsApp buzzing, debate after debate after debate. And we were like, you know, we've got so many ideas, there's so many talents in the group. We need to take this offline. We need to make it in real life. Okay. So I'd set up a page. At the time I was going to a lot of Black history events, like Black History Studies, Black History Walks. And I set up a page on meetup.com. Yes. I was learning so much, and I was like, I need other Black people to come and learn this stuff with me. It was just like, more people need to know this information. So we set up the meetup page in December. And that was the start of it, really. We came together in the January. After the New Year came around, and we were like, let's just sit down and talk about all our talents. You know, we all come from a creative background. Yeah. So there's so much that we can be doing, like doing for our community, for ourselves, you know, going forward. So yeah, we sat down in January. We plotted and planned what we wanted to do, and it just kind of went from there. That was it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So it just goes to show you that if you're passionate about something, absolutely, and you have a cause that you really want to push forward, especially when it's to help your community or your people, that you can do it, and there are like-minded people that feel the same way about you. I do get messages from people via tweeting or inboxing, and they always say to me, you know, how do I find like-minded people? And I personally feel that when you are on a journey, you kind of just want to be around people that are on your vibration. So what advice would you give our listeners? I would say group. I think the first thing is group with people like in your circle who are about the same things. Okay, so maybe sit down and think about the people the like friends that you do have. They say, what is it? They say that you're like the 5 closest people to you. Or something like that. Really? Something that I've heard before. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think. Who are the 5 closest people to me? They say you're like a reflection of those people. Yeah. So you know, if there's something that you're all kind of passionate about and having the same kind of conversations, link with those people. You know, there's I can't remember the exact wording, but there's like a Yoruba proverb. Okay. If you want to go further, you need to do it in a group, basically, rather than alone. A bit like the team makes the dream work. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, as Black people, we are the most creative people on the planet. There is nothing that we can't do. Yeah. So, you know, passionate determination. And we literally just, all the things that we've done, the exhibition especially, we spoke it into existence. Yes. It started off as a belief and just saying, okay, we're going to do this exhibition. And you executed it. Yeah, we executed it. We made it happen, you know, so. And I'm really glad that you said that you talked it into existence, because I'm always telling people it's about your intent. Yes. You have to put your intent out there. Yeah. And don't worry about the how, just worry about your why. Yeah. So what was your why moving forward? Why we wanted to do it? Yeah. You know, as Black women, we're not represented properly in the media, we're not celebrated. So we were like, we need to, instead of waiting for mainstream media to, you know, switch up and do it for us. Like, we need to do it ourselves. Like, this is
and
a
have
job
that control.
for us. Yeah. It's a job for us. We need to be controlling our narrative. We all know the media has got certain agendas of how they want to portray Black people. So it's down to us to control it, really, and it's down to us to take the steps to make it happen.
What I really loved about it is that this expedition, ladies, was called Who Taught You, which was inspired by Malcolm X's speech. I just really, really loved it. For the listeners, if you don't know, Malcolm X's speech was Who Taught You to Hate Yourself? And I just thought, who taught you was just such a great question, because it really makes you think. And it was such an honor to be part of this expedition. Please tell the listeners, because we're talking, you know, we're so sorry, we're talking like you know what we're talking about. You know, I only just saw my sister last week, so we're just like, hey, how you doing? But let's tell the listeners exactly, the expedition, your thoughts behind it, and then we're going to call Sister Kim in, the lady that took the amazing photos. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so as I said, we'd sat down and planned. The exhibition just happened to come first. Another lady that we shot for it as well, Emma Dabiri, I'd gone to a lecture of hers in January as well. She'd written an essay called Who Stole the Black Women from Britain? And it was talking about the invisibility of Black women in British mainstream media. So I was inspired by that. I was after that. I rang Kim and I was like, listen, we need to get on with this. We need to do it. We need to, you know, get some Black women. We'll shoot them. We'll celebrate them. You know, no one else is celebrating us. You know, we can't wait for people to do that. We should do it ourselves. You know, everyone else is celebrating themselves without being questioned. So the whole goal of the exhibition was to celebrate the beauty of Black women and also the diversity.
Yes, that's what I really loved.
There's the diversity within Black women, because, you know, society, the white society, puts forward a certain type of Black woman who doesn't represent us all. I'm talking about the Halle Berrys, the Beyoncés, and the Rihannas. You know, we're not all light. And stuff. So we shot about 28 different women.
And of different sizes and ages and heights.
Shapes,
it was beautiful.
Heights, like we shot from age, I think the youngest was 17, up to Kim's aunt, who was 74. So it was a broad range. Like, we just wanted women to come down to the gallery and see themselves, feel represented. We wanted them to see, like, all their features, their bums, their thighs, hips, everything. It was for them.
What I really loved about it was that you were really inspiring women to love themselves.
Absolutely.
And to love everything about them. And as you know, as a female empowerment coach, I'm just all about that. And I just thought it was so powerful to be in that room and be celebrated with other women. And also to have so many people come down to the gallery.
Like, we were blown away. Like, with the private viewing on the Thursday. It's coming up to our year anniversary, actually. The 23rd of July. So there was people out the door, like out in the road, in the middle of Battersea. We knew we'd get a lot of people, but we weren't expecting that many people. Like, the gallery had a capacity of 150 people, and I don't even know how many. There's probably double that there. It was, you know, but it was amazing. It was just it was a beautiful feeling, and the feedback. You know, we're still getting feedback to this day, because the images are on our website, movinglightsout.com.
Yes, please go and check them out. And also on your blog as well.
Yeah, we've got a blog on Tumblr, and they're on the website as well. But it was the size of the images as well. Like, they were like A0, so they were huge. I remember one of the ladies on the shoot was just like, oh yeah, they're just going to be on like A4. And we were just like, yeah. Just let her think that. And get to the gallery and everyone's like, whoa. So, but no, it was, we were truly blessed. It was amazing. And I think the highlight, we had it at the gallery for 3 days. And the highlight was a sister came down with her 2-year-old little girl. And after looking around, her little girl said, Mummy, they all look like you.
Oh,
so that was
that's
that
so
was
beautiful.
it. Yeah, that was
and
it.
you know, and that's something that's really dear to my heart, you know, because I have nieces and I have nephews, and I just think it's so important that they are able to look at beautiful, positive images and see reflection of themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, it's damaging when we don't see those images. That's when you get things like the doll experiment. Yeah, they're always going to pick the white doll because they don't see any positive imagery of themselves that they can relate to. So you know, it's damaging to their psyche.
So how do you feel about images that are airbrushed in media to make us look lighter, or in some cases darker? There was a case that was, I think you sent it to me, about a young man, and they made him darker. Why do you think they did that?
So in cases where they normally make them darker, especially men, it's to portray, that's the negative.
The negative.
Like, like with O.J. Simpson, when they did that picture of, I think it was Time, where they make him darker, because obviously darker skinned black people are more intimidating. So that's the stereotype that they're putting out there. Airbrushing, I mean, you just kind of have to understand that it's something that's done by magazines, and it's just not being sucked into stuff being airbrushing. That's why it's important, like, for us to shoot like all the different size women, because you know that's not how women look. You know, they're cutting bits off, they're nipping in their waist. That's not a real woman. Like, a lot of the time they're making them look like 9-year-old boys. It's not how women look.
Yeah, this is really true. And that's why, again, you know, I have to just sing your praises. That's why I just loved the exposition that you did. And we're also doing our own private project, where we're going to be doing some amazing images, and they will not be airbrushed. And it literally is to just show women that you are perfect just the way you are. And our young girls are looking at these images, and young boys, and it's not a reality. And I think that we live in a world where we're taught that we're not good enough. You know, if you say that you're beautiful, then you're being vain. But you have to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. And I think self-love is really, really important.
It's paramount.
And that's why I wanted you on the show, because yes, I'm a female empowerment, and I empower all females. In fact, I empower anyone that comes anywhere in my presence, because that's just, I know that's my purpose, right? But this topic is really dear to me because I am a black woman, and I see it every single day. And I encourage everybody to be proud of who they are, regardless of who you are, where you come from. Embrace your skin color, embrace your features, embrace your culture. And with everything that's going on in the media, I just think it's really important for women like ourselves to stand up and say, hey, ladies, let me just remind you of how beautiful you are. You know, and putting on such a beautiful expedition really, really did that. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate you. Now, with all success, we have ups and downs. So tell us, what were your hurdles in creating your movement? Can I call it a movement?
Yeah, call it a movement.
Yes.
Please do. I'm trying to think back. Hurdles. Generally, I mean, it was something that we put together really quickly. So I was kind of the guinea pig for the shoots. So I did my shoot in like the March. And we didn't actually shoot anyone else until the May. And then the exhibition happened in the July. Hurdles, you know, people that we told about what we were planning to do were generally quite receptive and very supportive. I think one of the things that I can point out is that we tried to get a lot of press down, and they weren't very responsive.
Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was a thing where obviously that was our first project. So if it was a thing where they didn't know like who we were, etc. I'm not sure.
And how did you go about dealing with that?
To be honest, we just got on with it. You know, we set out what we wanted to do, and we weren't going to let that stop us, to be honest. We got on with creating the show. So
great. And when are you going to do your next one?
Our next exhibition?
Yes.
We've got 2 hopefully planned for next year.
Brilliant. Are you allowed to tell us what the theme is?
I'm not going to say
I don't do the exclusive. What was your call?
No. We'll talk. But yeah, we've definitely got more exhibitions planned. Like our thing is just, you know, we want to change the stereotype of, we're just, you know, create our own stereotype of Black excellence and just uplift ourselves. Like we do that through art, because that's our medium, because we're creative. So yeah, but yeah, more exhibitions to come.
So what would you say to the females out there, especially to the sisters, who are not feeling that great about themselves at the moment because of what they do see in the media, and even down to how our brothers treat us, and also, I don't want to put it all on the brothers, but we are played against. Yeah, we are. The media play us against each other. It happens, you know, sisters play ourselves against each other, and brothers do as well. So what would you say to them?
With the sisters, firstly, in terms of like, taking steps to love yourself, I think one of the things that I did is I kind of moved away from mainstream media and social media as well, because social media can be very dangerous. I immersed myself in Black images. Like I went to Tumblr, ones I could find on like Pinterest. I followed a lot of like Black beauty pages on like Instagram and stuff. I just needed to immerse myself in positive images.
And that's so
women,
important,
of women that look like me. You know, it's important to understand like how powerful you are as a Black woman. You know, you're the first being on the planet. And it's important to know that going back
and our contribution
and history as well. Like when you learn about your heroines, how powerful they were, like the Manny and the Maroons, the Queen Mazingas.
Oh, I'm just tingling as you're talking.
When you learn about these women, it makes you feel so powerful. I remember when I went to watch Queen Mazinga, was it last summer? And it was just like, wow, like, this is a woman from Angola who fought Portuguese slavers. Until she was like 83. She didn't stop fighting. She was leading the army. She was teaching the men to fight. You know, when you learn about these women, it makes you feel so powerful. I went to watch Nanny and the Maroons with Black History Studies twice. Like, I went on Saturday and I went 2 weeks ago. I had to watch it twice. It just made me feel powerful. It just made me feel so powerful, like I could do anything. Like almost superwoman like.
Yeah, we are though.
Well, yeah, of course
we are superwomen.
Yes.
And on that note, I would like to introduce my other beautiful sister who's just joined us. Welcome, Tenisia. Welcome. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Tenisia, yes you did. Yay for you. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. A bit tired from the run.
Oh, did you run here? Oh, bless you. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And would you like to quickly introduce yourself to our listeners? Tell us what you do and your part in NNO.
I am one of the creators of NNO, whereby I'm a writer and I'm a stylist as well. My name is Tenisia Cherelle, and that's about it.
You're a poet?
I'm a poet. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything with you today that you can share with the listeners?
I've got stuff here, but they're quite long.
Oh, so if we've got time, we'll definitely get you to do a little poem for us.
Yes.
Is that be okay?
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Perfect. So we were just talking about, you know, the expedition that NNO put on and about the movement and why they started this group. Would you like to have a bit of an input in why you wanted to be a part of such a powerful group?
Well, I met this lovely young lady years ago when I used to model like back in the day, and I remember Cherelle reaching out to me about joining Nubia Nights Out, and I was there to help with the exhibition and just seeing the vision come to life. That was important to me, and not having a lot of Black women in England, I guess, that I can relate to, and we were on the same level, we were around the same age, they were doing something positive. I wanted to do something positive in terms of building women and strengthening our confidence and going forward and actually helping the youth.
And why do you think that's so important?
It's important because without foundation, there's nothing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Without the foundation, there's nothing. And we are the backbone of our community. And without us knowing our strength and our power and self-love, there's no way moving forward. So it's important for us to be doing what we're doing.
Yeah. And have you personally faced any racism?
Oh yes. I moved to England at 18. Within a week, I found out I was Black. I did not know I was Black before I moved to England. Because I grew up in Guyana, and you were who you were. The color of your skin didn't matter. And I remember sitting on the bus, and this guy said to me, "Why is your account sitting next to me? Like, move." And I was just like, nervous laughter. And I remember looking at him, and I got out of the bus, and I ran my dad, and I said, like, this just happened. And at this point, I was crying because I'd never experienced that. And I was like, Dad, like, this guy. And I told my dad, and my dad was like, well, welcome to England. And he was like, everyone's not like that, but you will meet people like that. And then instances kept happening. And then that urged me to learn a lot more about my history.
Oh, okay. So it was that made you want to learn more about yourself?
Yes.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, because, like I said, in Guyana, we don't, you learn about Columbus. You don't learn about the slave trade or how many countries Africa has. I mean, at least I didn't.
That's a really important point that you made, because a lot of my African brothers, when I talk to them about slavery, they say the same thing.
Yeah.
They say they didn't know about slaves until they came here.
Yeah, no, I knew about slavery because we've got a hero called Kofi, who led the Great Rebellion of Guyana. I think it's 1963. I might get that date wrong. But anyway, we had about 11,000 to 15,000 slaves who rebelled across the region in Guyana. That's why we're a republic as well. We're not, the English have nothing to do, even though they ruled us. They have no say in our country. She's not the head of state, none of that. So we fought for our freedom, we really did. But a lot of the information is there, but it's not generally just given out. Yeah, So when I came here, I remember being in university, and this really weird, quirky lecturer I had, a white guy. And, he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said to him, "I'm from Guyana." And he said, "Oh, there's this book by this guy called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa." And the writer was Guyanese, Walter Rodney. And I started reading that book, and I was like, wow, like, I didn't even know, like, Guyanese people did so much, and because we had him, and then in Ealing, there was a book company, like a publishing house, that a Guyanese couple had. And then you start learning about Africa, and you start learning about your queens, and I just came from Jamaica, and I learned about Nanny
all the time, and I think that's what's really important. And especially in the media, any times that we see Africa is when they're asking for money to give to the homeless or to the poor, and we know there's so much riches in Africa, and it is such a beautiful place. So as Black women, how would you like us to move forward as a unit, as sisters, as girlfriends?
I think sisterhood is paramount. I think for us to move forward, sisterhood is just so important. As you pointed out, we've been the backbone. Like, we've led. Black women have led the way. Like, we always have. You might see men on the front line, but it's been Black women running the show. And I think it's just important for Black women to just start by recognizing each other and noticing each other.
That's really important.
And self-love. I think unless you, as a Black woman, love yourself, and love yourself naked, you can stand in front of that mirror with no makeup, your hair back, and you can appreciate your culture, your dynamics, your individuality. Until you can do that, you'll always feel threatened by another Black woman. You'll always. All of these different situations we get into, and you feel tension, or you're just on the train and you don't feel like you can smile at someone. All of these things come from not loving yourself. If you love yourself and you appreciate who you are, you'll see sisterhood. You'll never feel like, oh, she this. It's a different sense. Once you have self-love, you have knowing of self, and you have purpose. You have these things, connecting with people is easier.
So what advice would you give to any sister that's listening at the moment that just feels a bit lost or a bit confused about who she is? I mean, I know I asked really a similar question.
I would say research.
Where would you start? Because, there are a lot of women out there that really do want to learn, but there's so much stuff to learn, and sometimes you don't know if you're learning the right information also. So what advice would you give a complete newbie who's just starting off on their journey?
I'd say start with family. For me, finding out that my granddad is Ghanaian heritage, my great-grandparents are Ghanaian.
How did you do that? Did you do that through a DNA or test?
So we carry the last name Nelson, like the men in my family all have the name Nelson.
Okay.
And my great-uncle told us the story. So in Guyana, we have this culture called kwek, where when you get married, they beat drums. All the great uncles beat the drums.
Oh, how
You have to
beautiful.
pay. They
Love
hide the bride, and then the husband has to come find her. If he can't find her, they kick him out.
I love
And
that.
then they kick him out, and then he has to kind of like fight to get back in. But usually the bride and the groom have a little bet, so he finds her.
Okay.
So all of these things we still do culturally that kind of tell you where you're from or remind us where we're from. And when I came here and I started learning more about my history, I was like, all right, cool. Let me find out about Ghana. Let me find out about the tribes of Ghana. Let me find out. And I'm going to do the DNA test.
Yes, tell us about the DNA test. Because listeners, I only learned about this DNA test when I met up with them last week, and I was like, oh, you can?
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's my New Year resolution, getting my DNA test done.
Yeah, tell us more about it.
Well, it kind of,
what's it called?
Ancestry.com does one. There are different companies that do it, but they can basically tell you how much African blood you've got or where it comes from.
But there's a special name for it. It's not just get your DNA tested.
No. I don't.
Do you know what the name is?
No.
Okay. Listeners, Google. I will get the information for my listeners for the next show, or I'll probably post it on my Facebook, but I'll let you know. So so you can get your DNA tested, and they can actually tell you where you're from, and it's so important to know where you're from.
Exactly. And even if you look at your great grandparents, find out where they're from, do this history about that place, because learning a lot about Guyana that I hadn't learned before is very eye-opening. To see how, when they say you were slaves when really you were enslaved, and then it's like, okay, we weren't slaves, you enslaved us. We fought for our freedom, you only gave it to us because so many of you were dying.
Which is important.
It's important to know the difference between you were a slave, you didn't choose this, it happened.
It's the language.
This isn't who you were before that. It's a small part. But it's something we're still paying for through so many social aspects and constructs and whatever. But it's important to understand your history, and then you've got to look into racism as a system, white supremacy as a system. You need to understand how these things work, institutionalized racism, because if you don't understand it, you can't recognize it, you can't be prepared for it. And when you're not prepared for it, it shuts you down.
It just leaves you confused. And as part of white supremacy, you need to understand how you are attacked as a black woman through your beauty. I mean, these people are out here doing scientific experiments and reports to try and argue why you're unattractive. I mean, come on. But in the same breath, they want to tell you how insignificant you are. Well, if that was the case, if I wasn't a threat to you, why do you go to this extent to prove how ugly I am?
Why do you destroy the family? Why do you incarcerate?
We are a threat. Black women are a threat. We contradict their European beauty standards because, for someone who's the most hated, we're the most duplicated, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, these people spend millions of pounds trying to look like us.
On getting lips, on getting boobs done.
Yeah, so it's important for black women to understand that they are the standard. They are the standard.
So how do you feel about black women that wear weaves? Yes, I just got that one in.
Okay, so I play Master Carnival every year. Last year I had 4 locks. Full locks. I had fake locks. Okay. Last year, and it was the first time I had them, and I quite liked it actually. And then this year I'm gonna get braids. I think it depends on the woman.
It depends.
It depends on the woman.
We know women that know themselves, know their history, that wear weave.
And everybody is different. I think that's a beauty about us as well. We're so versatile. We like my husband said, sometimes I go out and I come home to a different woman. Your hair, you can do so much with your hair, right? Sure. And I think it depends on why you're doing it.
That's the key.
That's the key. Do you have blue contacts because you want to be European? Do you have blonde hair because you want to be what are the reasons? And I found with a lot of black kids growing up here, they always said 2 things, including the boys. They always found different color eyes more attractive, and they always were more attracted to white girls first. But that's because that's a culture. I mean, there's nothing wrong with whoever you date if it's love, but it's the reason why you're doing these things. And self-love is very important, coming back to that point again. So if it depends on the woman, I know enough sisters that rock all kinds of weave and they got their head on, and I know enough sisters that are natural that are just like
that don't have a clue about themselves,
right? It depends on the woman. I
mean, I've learned. I know sisters with weave that the sister with weave that taught me about Dr. Francis Cress Wilson and the ISIS papers.
It depends on them.
But to be honest, with everything that we've got going on, I think talking about weave is a waste of time. You know.
Yeah, it depends on the woman.
Yeah.
So,
you see, I think it's all about self-development.
yeah.
And I find it fascinating that a lot of people don't think knowing your Black history is part of self-development. It's all part of it.
Yeah.
So you can't develop if you don't know where you've been.
Yeah.
You know, when I say where you've been, I'm talking about your ancestors.
Yeah.
Because I believe my ancestors are with me. You know, I believe
of course.
that everything that I know is in my DNA. So I must have been somewhere before I was here.
Yeah.
Right? But I think it's really important to just be happy with who you are when you look in the mirror.
Definitely.
And to have some sort of identity. And I think it's extremely important that as women, we unite and we support each other. And we help each other, whether that's through business, whether that's through contacts, you know, whether that's you walking down the street and you see a sister, say hello.
Say hello, compliment her, you know.
And walk with your head up high. I hate seeing women. I don't care where you're from. I hate seeing women walking with their head down. Walk up. Look up. Look up.
Make eye contact. Make eye contact. Smile. You know, that's how you can start.
Yeah. Because I notice Black men have got this thing. Because whenever me and my husband go out and like a Black man has to them, they do a nod.
Yeah,
like they have a nod.
Each other.
They nod, and I always think that's so nice. Like you don't have to know the person, but I think that's a nice thing that they do. But me, generally, I smile. I smile
at everyone.
I'm gonna smile. I'm like, your back, your hair is cute. You look really nice.
And it's so nice when another woman says, "Oh, that's cute."
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a nice.
It's a little thing, but it's acknowledgement.
Yeah, but I also think it's appreciation.
Yes.
You know, it's just like when I'm walking down the road and the brother says, "Hello, sister," I'm like,
That's nice. You like, he knows it's all of this.
There's a guy that delivers to my work that calls me Empress every morning.
I love when they call you Empress.
I love that. I really appreciate that.
In Jamaica, they say princess and empress.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think again, it's all about recognizing each other. And, you know, knowing that I see you. That's what I feel like when they say hello, Empress, or hello, sister. It's like, yeah, you see me like I see you. You know, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think that we spend, well, I don't want to use the word we, I feel that the media and what goes on makes us believe that we all hate each other.
Yeah, we don't.
And that's not true.
No.
You know, there's a lot of love out there. And I think it's our job as women to be the leaders in that. You know, we need everything. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then before you walked in, my lovely, we were talking about men.
Yeah.
And do you feel that the brothers have a role in how women feel about themselves?
Of course they do. Of course, definitely. I mean, women act and dress and have goals according to men. We may not think we do, but we do. Right? We may not think that we do.
Do you agree?
I agree
but
with
we
that
do.
because society is patriarchal.
So
men validate men and men validate women.
They validate us. So it's kind of like when a guy, I like a girl with natural hair, but what kind of natural hair are you talking about? Do you just want curls? What do you want? Do you want
break it down?
Because they've got this thing, and it's about the way a woman carries herself. It's the same way like you'll see an image with a naked woman that's wearing African print and she's beautiful, but you see a naked woman wearing just a bikini, she's a top. Do you know what I mean? And they pull and they, you know, I want wifey for that minute. Your wifey looks like this, like Steph Curry's wife. That's wifey.
Until she speaks.
And then that girl over there, they did kind of kill her. But they do. I mean, from the way you walk to the way you carry yourself, in the same way, men. It's like I think Chris Rock said. He said, men only get expensive cars because women want expensive cars. He only get that big house because if he could get all that in a cardboard box, he would. But we carry ourselves to a certain standard, and it's the men. And a lot of it, I think, why Black women even care about interracial dating is because they're telling you, and it feels like they're telling you anyway, that you're not good enough. You know, you're not good enough. I'm going over here. And some Black men act like it. Not all of them, but some of them act like it. So that's why a lot of Black men don't understand when Black women say, well, yeah, it's because of you. That's why I'm acting this way. That's why I'm bleaching my skin. That's why I'm straightening my hair. Because you tell me where my hair natural, but you can't pull your hands through it. So then now we got a problem. So now I got a straight weave. You know, you got me better when I had a weave.
Yeah, I think with the media as well, obviously, a Black man is never with a Black woman. So he's always with a non-Black woman. So we do things, I think girls do things to try and emulate what they see these
To be
women
like
out
that.
to be
Yeah.
like this woman who is with
They
the
try
black
and be
man
like
to
that.
vie for his attention.
Yeah.
So this is where we come back to the weave and the contacts and
Yeah.
contouring your nose out of existence to
Yeah.
look European.
Yeah.
Out of existence.
It's true. And you do
I don't
see.
understand all this.
Yeah, and I haven't seen
You're
a lot
making
more.
your nose look European.
Seen a lot more black girls that wear foundation that's like 3 shades too light
Yeah.
or 4 shades too light, you know. And for me, when I see things like that, I don't think, oh, she's crazy. I just think you do not love yourself.
Yeah, and I think it's a reflection of what they feel about themselves as well.
Of course.
Because I think growing up, I did see a lot of that. You know, you had to be light skinned. But then, you know, also as I grew up as a woman, I realized that my sisters that do have a fair complexion also have a hard time.
Of course they do.
As well,
Of course they
you know. And sometimes it's just so. I can't even find the word for it.
It's a double-ended sword.
Yes.
It's a double-ended sword,
Double-ended
and then
sword.
we're in the middle, and you're thinking, oh, me this because she, and me that because she. But actually, you're both fighting the same battle.
Yes.
So that's why sisterhood is so important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black women, you know, it's a triple threat. It's racism, it's sexism, and it's colorism.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are all the things that divide us. I mean, we are so unique that we come in so many different shades. So many different shades.
And that's the beauty of it.
It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can go have a baby and look like your ancestors 20, you know, how long ago?
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
And I think men do have a powerful say in how we feel about.
I think the men play a very, very important part.
Yeah, from the fathers right up. Because if you look at Monique, Monique as an actress said when she was younger, she used to get teased, and she always thought she was the most beautiful girl. And why did she think that? Because her dad told her every day, "You're the most beautiful.
Yeah,
you are beautiful." She always knew that she could achieve anything because she had her parents to back her. I think what's important is that we don't wait until our children get to 12 to instill love, self-love, and confidence in history. We need to teach them from the jump. Because when my child goes into school and anyone says to them anything, they'll be like, no, I'm a king. I know my history. I know who I am. And that's what's important because we don't teach them. We wait until they grow up and, you know, stuff starts hitting the fan. And then they're confused.
The degradation starts from early. I mean, if you think back to Blue Ivy and her hair, was she even 2?
It's true.
It's true.
But she didn't have straight. She didn't have curly hair. You know, it's ridiculous.
So, but it's a cycle, like saying it starts in the home and having to teach our children. These women that don't love themselves, how are you going to teach self-love
and I guess how black
to your children?
Approach them as well. Because I remember being when I used to work in Kensington ages ago, and this guy kept coming, and he's like, "You must be coolie, innit? You're coolie." And I just looked at him and I thought, okay. I said, "What do you understand by the word coolie?"
Yeah.
And he was like, just
and that's the thing, they don't even understand what the word coolie even means.
He's like, just like a mixed race cream burst. I said, that's not what it means. I said, saying that word is just about saying the N word. And I said, it's not something to be crying. He's like, but your hair. And I said, what about my hair? And he's like, oh, your hair is really nice. I was like, oh, I was like, thanks. And then he's like, yeah, can we go out? And I was like, so you want to go out with me based on my hair? And
no woman should put up with that.
No,
regardless of where you're from.
No, and I remember saying to him, and I said, but your mom's black, and your mom's black. You have sisters? He's like, yeah. And I said, and I said, do they have like really thick, like really nice hair that I wish I had like really thick hair? And he was like, yeah. And I said, so do you not think that they're beautiful? And he was like, yeah, but I want my. And then he just started stuttering. And I was like,
yeah. And that whole I want my children thing is. But on that note, I knew this would happen.
We could do a whole show.
We've literally did 45 minutes already. I'm definitely gonna have to invite you ladies back.
Come back.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm even thinking about maybe doing a weekly slot where
I'm up for that.
Yeah, I know how to run here. I know how to run here.
Really quickly, the telephone number if you just want to call in is 0787604451, and hopefully we've got time. I can call Sister Kim because we really want to speak to her and get her input about the beautiful expedition that they put up that I was featured in.
I'm thinking back, like I remember it was the picture on your Instagram of you walking out the pool.
Oh, girl!
I screenshotted it and I sent it to Kim. I was like, We need her. We need her. I'm messaging her now. We need her. We need her.
And on that note, let's call Kim. Let's see if we can figure this out. Hopefully she answers. She just had a baby. Yeah. Beautiful baby boy.
Baby. You should see him. Breastfed babies are really different. He's only been breastfed. You lift him up. It's like
he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Those cheeks. Yes.
He's a big boy.
Hi, Kim. Ladies, put your headphones on.
Oh.
She's just putting the bubba to sleep.
Oh,
see, motherhood.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hi, Kim.
Oh, it's all popping up. It's all popping up. Hold on, Kim.
We've got a call.
Hello, caller. You're live on Power Extra. Hi.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Hi, Heaven.
Hey, Heaven.
Wait, can we do like a two-way thing? Kim, are you still there? Kim, right, we're gonna call you back, Kim, in like 2 minutes. Okay. Bye.
Heaven, turn on your radio.
Heaven.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, sis.
Oh,
thank you,
honey. Oh, thank you, Queen. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant.
You inspire us every day to heaven.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Take action.
Yeah. Thank you,
Empress.
We support you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's what it's all about, you know, sisters and women just supporting each other. Yeah, so we really appreciate you calling up and showing the love. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Heaven. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Queen. Have a blessed evening.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
That was lovely, wasn't it? It's so nice when other females just say yes.
Yeah, we love that.
We love that, and that's what this is all about. And you know, this is why I wanted to have my own radio show. I realized a long time ago that it's not about me. None of this is about me. You know, when you wake up and you know what your purpose in life is, and my purpose is far more bigger than me. And this is why I wanted to share this platform with all of you sisters, and for any other woman who's out there listening. You know, I do know that people are looking up to me and watching me, and I want to know, as much as I motivate you, you inspire me to always do better and better each day.
Absolutely.
And please call in, you know, let me coach you live on air, send me your messages. Email is talkswithdesrine@gmail.com. I'm definitely going to have these ladies back. I'm going to try and get them to do a weekly slot with me, because I just think they're just magical. And we're going to call back our sister Kim. So let's try that now. Technology. Honestly, listeners, this is all very new to me, okay? I can barely use my phone. Hi, greetings, Sister Kim.
Hey, Kimmy.
Welcome back. Have you been listening to the show? Good. So, Kim, introduce yourself. Let the listeners know who you are. Brilliant. So really quickly, tell the listeners about, you know, how you photographed us beautiful women and how you were just able to put on such a magical show. We've got 5 minutes, Kim. Mhm. Mhm. Fantastic. And how do you feel people felt about seeing nude models? Because you know, let's just put it out there. I love being nude. Okay, I think there's nothing more beautiful than a woman's body. I think it's a piece of art.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it amazes me that people get upset when they see a mother breastfeeding, but it's okay to show your boobs on page 3
or on Instagram.
Or So I just want to say, you know, thank you for allowing me to express myself in such a beautiful way. But what would you say to, you know, other people that really just don't get it? Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm.
Oh, that's your civilized.
Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm.
And being free.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes, she is. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When that's how we were.
Yeah.
We were that way.
Yeah.
Because of climates and whatever else.
And I think, you know, people get nude confused with dress in a certain way.
Yeah.
We're not saying that you must go out there and wear the shortest skirts and show your breasts. We're not saying that at all. We are very classy women and we encourage self-respect. And I just want to make that really, really clear. It is about self-respect. But being nude in an artistic way is a celebration of who you are in your most purest form.
Absolutely.
You know, and I kind of just want to wrap up with what you guys are doing, your next project, which is your lovely book and documentary, which I'm very honored to have been interviewed for. I'm a bit starstruck at the moment. I absolutely love these amazing women. So quickly tell us, especially you, Kim, since you've only just joined us, tell us more about the book that's coming out and the documentary.
It's a,
Mm-hmm. 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 Brilliant. Yeah, So you're doing something to inspire other women, and these women are sharing their ups and downs.
Young girls.
Well, thank you very much, Kim. We're gonna have to wrap up, but ladies, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
It's been so much fun. I can't wait for you guys to come back.
Yeah,
So
we gotta come back. I've got a lot more to say.
Yeah, she's got a lot done. Are you finished or are you done?
No, I had like 6 pages of notes.
She's not finished and she's not done.
Kim really came in here with this big notepad. I'm like, sister, we only have 1 hour. So hopefully you can join us next time, Kim. Love and light, and we'll speak soon.
See you, Kimmy.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. So ladies, let our listeners know how they can follow you. Tell us your Instagram, your Twitter, and your blog.
So our social media handle for everything is just at Nubian Nights Out.
Okay.
The exhibition is up on our website. It's just nubiannightsout.com. Yeah, we've got a Tumblr page as well with the images on, and some like behind the scenes images from when we were doing the exhibition. That's just nubiannightsout.tumblr.com.
Brilliant. Again, thank you so much, ladies, for coming. It's been such a pleasure. And I just want to finish the show off with this statement that I saw. Self-love requires courage. Have the strength to be who you are in a world that tries desperately to make you different. Never compromise to be who you are not meant to be.
I second that.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Third.
A beautiful way to finish the show, right?
Yeah.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. You can catch me every Thursday live on Power Extra. This was Talks with Desrine. Please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Talks with Desrine, and you can follow me on my Instagram, The Female Empowerment Coach. Ladies, this platform is for you, so do call in. Do email me at talkswithdesrine@gmail.com with any coaching questions. I'm your female empowerment coach, and thank you for listening.
That was good.
Yeah. My little punk hand. My hand just looks like a little punk hand. Oh. That was so good.
That was good.
See, the good thing I came with.